I'm Rosemary, and we are here in the WYEP performance space, and I see an awful lot of fine-looking people who support this radio station. And the reason that we have gathered here today is because we are welcoming back, and so thrilled to be doing so, Kathleen Edwards.
Thank you.
When I go walking in the neighborhood, I wonder how I even got here. It seems so long since those Hamilton days in the first house we bought together. And the online street view used to crack me up. Honey, it was you standing in your slippers. We were on the front porch with the Siamese cat, but it's not up there anymore. That happened. We had a tour bus with a bed in the back. We bought a rock and roll dream. It was total crap. We toured the world and we played on TV. We met some of our heroes. It almost killed me, and I will always be thankful for it. And I will always be thankful for it. I guess some things we should have said, 'cause it was too late when we did. Like you changed too much, you didn't change, and I'm sorry for everything, everything. The early days we were playing at the Rex Theater, and I was drinking too much whiskey. You always knew how to set me straight, even though I didn't want to hear it. And I will always be thankful for it. And I will always be thankful for it. And I will always be thankful for it. And I will
91.3 WYEP, Kathleen Edwards, City Winery tonight. And boy, you have been a busy woman over the last, I don't know, several months, maybe a year. But I want to take you back a little bit. The last time that you and I actually spoke, it was a phone interview, and I think it was like 2021. So it was pandemic. And it was probably the most subdued conversation I had ever had with you. So I want to go back to that and then make the arc to where you are today, because I think there is a major story that's going on with you in there. Back in that period of time, you had stepped away from music for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did actually quit music. I'm not very good at quitting, apparently. But I did actually stop playing music altogether and moved back to Stittsville, Ontario, which was a suburb just near where I grew up. And I started a coffee shop.
It was called what? Quitters, right?
I called it Quitters Coffee. Yes. Yeah. And it was an extraordinary thing to do. I really needed a break from music. And I guess I'm just one of those people that I thought, well, I can't very well quit music and not have something to do. And so I sort of made my exit strategy a small business, which was a really wonderful time, because it was so running a small, if anyone's here, entrepreneur, a small business owner, it becomes basically your whole life, as music had, but in a very different way. My life was away. My life was out of a suitcase. And now my life was in one place. And really, I got sucked into my day-to-day life being at a coffee shop. And, it was open 7 days a week, and we opened at 7 a.m. We closed at 7 p.m. It was a beautiful thing that blossomed into, almost 25 employees. We ended up getting an ice cream trailer, and we ended up becoming licensed, and we did trivia nights. It was so much more than just a coffee shop, but it was a real learning experience, and a great break emotionally, mentally, from getting on stage every night.
I wonder how much of that experience kind of bleeds into not just the music that you're making, but even your approach on stage, because you've had a very different type of relationship with a kind of audience.
Yeah, I think the only way I know how to answer that or respond to that is, things started for me at a very young age. And I when I was 16, 17, I was taking the bus downtown and busking on the street. I definitely wanted to play songs, and I wanted to be on stage for people. And I loved music. I think what happened was, because it happened so young, like I was 23 when Failure came out. And, the first day that my record came out in the United States, I was on Letterman. Like, it was a huge shift for me. And then 10 years pass, and you're in this bubble, and you're so thankful for things, but you've lost perspective. And the thing that stopping music really gave me a chance to unpack a lot of things, like, a radio visit like this. To be honest, in the past, it would have, as much as you appreciated people playing the radio, you're like, that's another 2 hours of the day on the road that I don't have to myself. You're kind of in survival mode. Now I feel like the perspective of how lucky I am and how much I love to do this, and how I just have to think about how I carve out time for myself in a different way that makes this really rewarding in a whole different way. Yeah.
I've been reading a lot of memoirs, mostly of women musicians. And Ricky Lee Jones and hers goes back to childhood and talks about the songs that had this really important impact on her, whether like she was learning how to play the guitar with them, or learning how to write a song, or trying to live within those lyrics. She has these sort of guideposts that she talks about with songs. And that's an interesting way to approach a memoir. And you have a covers record now, which I guess if we looked at the songs that you choose, are those guideposts, is that a type of memoir that's going on there?
Oh, God, totally. Yes, I actually didn't think about it in that way, but you're totally right. All of the songs I can pinpoint, a certain age and a certain connection to that artist or an album that was my friend, at a time, and many of them a range of times. I cover John Prine's Hello in there on this record, which is truly one of the great songs of the American Songbook. And I was recently asked to play at the Ryman Auditorium for his annual Hello in There Foundation You've Got Gold event, which is an extraordinary night, and they change the cast every year, and I was very humbled to have been asked. I didn't sing Hello in there. Roseanne Cash did, and she's extraordinary. And I picked another song. But the truth is, the first song I ever learned was really like where my relationship with songs came about. It was sitting in a canoe at summer camp in Temagami, Ontario, and my camp counselor was in the back, of course, because that's where the person who actually paddles sits and directs us. And she taught me a song that, you know, goes like, I was sitting in my bathtub counting my toes when the radiator broke and the water all froze. I was stuck in the ice without any clothes. I was naked as the eyes of a clown. And the whole time, my whole adolescent life, I just thought that was a camp song. I didn't know that was a John Prine song. I had no idea the first song I truly learned was a John Prine song. So that tether is so very real for me.
I also think that doing a covers record, it's also fascinating because the songs that you choose, some of them took me by surprise. You know, you have a Flaming Lips song on there, and I have a certain idea in my head of, oh, Flaming Lips. But then I hear your version of it, and it's not just that it's new. It gives me a different perspective on the song that the Flaming Lips wrote. And so I think you kind of open the door to artist when you do a cover album. Somebody knows Kathleen Edwards, but they don't know some of the artists that you cover. That gives an opportunity. Or does that come into your thinking at all?
Well, great songs are done right for the first time. They don't need anyone to cover them. But it's really fun to play songs that are a tribute to other people that you really love. And the way that I just pick them is songs that really felt like they landed in a different way. And it, you know, sometimes it's a B-side. Sometimes it's not the song that was the single that everyone knows. And yeah, with the Flaming Lips song, that was an album that an old boyfriend played all the time. He loved the Flaming Lips. And that song, Feeling Yourself Disintegrate, was always just, I thought, really incredibly emotional and evocative. And I just tried to make it my own because I loved it.
Well, we have lots of things we can talk about, but I know people want to hear a couple more songs.
Great.
If you've just tuned in, Kathleen Edwards is here in the studios at WYEP.
Well, we're going to do one of my songs, and then we're going to do a cover song. It's called Options Open. So much, everything you do, you say, you speak, you wear, it just works for me. But I'm blaming on a weekly flyer that took me out to Crappy Tire, 'cause you were smiling when I looked up. Well, I guess we'll always have a parking lot. I've been keeping my options open, keeping my options open. Even on live radio, we gotta be in tune. This is a song that just came out this week, and it's sort of the it's the beginning of a relationship with Jason Isbell, who ended up offering to produce my new record that comes out at the end of this summer. And I covered a series of songs, of course, and this one was the one that I picked that I'm quite excited about playing. I've never played it live before, so here we go. Yeah. Could go badly. It's called Traveling Alone. Mountains rough this time of year. Close the highway down. They don't warn the town. I've been fighting second gear for 15 miles or so, trying to beat the angry snow. I know every town worth passing through. What good does knowing do? No one to show it to. I got tired of traveling alone. Tired of traveling alone. I got tired of traveling alone. Won't you ride with me? I got tired of traveling alone. Growing tired of traveling alone. I got tired of traveling alone. Won't you ride with me? Or won't you ride? I quit talking to myself and listening to the radio a long, long time ago. Damn near strangled by my appetite. Ybor City on a Friday night. Couldn't even stand upright. So high they wouldn't even take my bait. Said come see me on a
We're here with Kathleen Edwards, City Winery tonight. For first time, I think that went pretty well, wouldn't you say?
I think they call that a slam dunk.
Yeah. So a song, that a musician would certainly understand, written by, a musician. The Road is kind of it's the story of a musician's life. And I read a post that you had on Instagram about why this song really had an impact on you. When you play tonight, everybody is going to go, yeah, that was great. And then they get to go home. They go back to their lives. Not you. You don't have that. If you can explain a little bit about, what is that like? What's that balance of being on the road and having an actually private life while you're still out there on the road and not having this home that you go home to every night?
Well, every day is a learning curve, and that's what makes it exciting. And truly, the travel is the hardest part, and getting on stage and playing for people is the reward of the day, no matter what happens. It's an interesting life. It's not for everyone, and there are days where I have wondered, even in the last 6 months, like, what am I doing? But I think that's true no matter what you do. Nothing that's great and feels great is easy to come by. And if it were easy, everyone would do it.
Not everybody could, but not like you do it. The people that are going to recognize, though, what you're going through are other musicians. And I guess that's where, you're bolstered by other people. And that brings me back to the covers album and the people that are on that record with you. So the Jason Isbell connection, you're doing a song of his, he sings with you.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have done that. If someone had covered my song and then they're like, will you sing it? I'd be like, nope, they think so. And I was shocked that he said yes. So I applaud him incredibly. It was really great. And he, of course, I'd already recorded the song, but I felt like it was missing, a male vocal harmony. And I just, I have this new mantra, which is a hockey mantra. So I'm in the right town to bring this up. But you miss you miss all the shots you never take. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. And so I thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? He'll say no, and he didn't. So then that led to him introducing me to a woman named Gina Johnson, who he's made all of his recent albums with. And the three of us made an album together in Nashville over the summer. So that was an incredible thing.
And you have another record coming. Do you want to say anything about that? Because you're not quite there yet. Is what's coming out in August? Yeah,
and I'm sorry. I was just talking about my new album with Gina and Jason. But this covers record was made with a lot of people from my band, my drummer, Peter Von Alten, my guitar player, Gord Tuff, who's here with me today. And Jim Scott is the producer of that record with me, and he and I made Asking for Flowers, which was a record from a few decades ago, and just an extraordinary talent and somebody who's a hero of mine. So, but the new record is apparently going to come out in the fall or late summer, and we just, I just saw the album cover this morning. Yeah, it's all fresh. Apparently, you've been sent some songs.
I've heard 3 of them, and I can't wait to hear it. You want to tell people what the name of the album's going to be?
I don't even know if I've told anyone. The album is going to be called Billionaire.
And I have heard a couple of the songs, and I cannot wait to hear more. It's really going to be a very powerful album, I think. And, that brings me back to one of the songs that you did on the covers record. And I knew this song growing up. I loved it. It was a Supertramp song called Logical Song. But then I heard you singing it, and I thought, oh, I never heard these lyrics. This is a perfect song for right now. And that's why it's important to have somebody else maybe do a song, because you hear something different in it.
And look, great songs are timeless. I mean, there's so many things. John Prine's another perfect example. It's the reason I covered Hello in there. And the Logical Song is because the lyrics are, it's like my mom's crazy cool clothing from like the mid 70s. It's back. It's back. It's never been cooler. So, I mean, I'm hoping that if I stick around long enough, my music will become cool.
I think you're there. But, and also, since you mentioned, cool things, I want to mention the cover of the cover record. When I saw it, I thought, this looks like something from the 60s or 70s, something like Dusty Springfield would do. Did you put any thought into that? Was that somebody else's work? It's a very nostalgic looking cover.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a total accident this past summer. Oh my God, what month is it? Oh, so last summer, I was on tour opening for a guy named Craig Finn, who's the lead singer of the Hold Steady, and he graciously offered me about a 3-week run in opening his shows in Europe. And one day, our gentleman we were touring with said, "Do you know a Canadian photographer named Brian Rankin?" I said, "No." He goes, "He's part of," I said, "Let me guess, he's related to the Rankin family," which is a very well-known musical family in Canada, who started out in the East Coast. And one of the young women who from that family is Molly Rankin, who was in a band called Always. Anyways, yes, yeah, fist pump, see it. Anyways, so he came to a show and he said, I do fashion photography and I'd love to take your picture. And so it was just a total accident. He took my picture and sent me it. And I thought, I asked him after seeing it, could I use it for the cover of that album? And yeah. And it was very exciting. It was nice to be in London, England, and have a Canadian, photograph me. So it worked out. Minimal Photoshop too. It was great. I'm going to hire him again.
Well, I hope more people are going to pick up on this record as it's just coming out. But it's we're already playing the Jason Isbell track on it, and working with Jason, he seems to me to be a pretty intense kind of guy. I met him once, did an interview with him once, and very smart. And I think he could bring something out in you that maybe you don't even know about.
Oh, he pushed me outside of my comfort zone. Yes. Yeah, he did. And he is an intense guy. He really knows what he wants and he knows himself. And, I've been very lucky in my career to be surrounded by people who care deeply about their art and the tools that they use to make that art. And Jason is consistently in keeping with that, and I feel very lucky that he elevated me for sure. And I'm very thankful to him because he has no free days and he somehow worked me into his schedule.
Well, you are opening your tour tonight. Here in Pittsburgh, so we're thrilled to welcome you to the stage at City Winery and the new album covers, and we'll wait for Billionaire later this year. And if you could sing us one more song, Kathleen Edwards, we would love that.
Okay. Well, the last time I was in Pittsburgh, I played a show out in this cool music. Was it South Park? Okay, and it was this amazing open free summer festival series. I love the venue, and it was right around the time that my first album, I can't believe this is true, turned 20 years old. But my first record was Failure. I came to this station and played this song, and there's been something really wonderful about coming back to music and playing songs that they might be that old, but there's still people who are hearing them. So I still love playing it. This is called 6 O'Clock News.
Chalk you down. Peter, sweet baby, where'd you get that gun? You spent half your life trying to turn the other half around. I tried to come clean, but I guess it's no use. Your face is all over 6 o'clock news. Street
This is Tom Hammerton on the keyboards. And on guitar is Gord Tuff, everybody.
Peter, sweet baby, there's just something that I gotta say to you. I'm gonna have your baby this coming June. We could get a little place down by Gilmore Park. You could do a little time and save my broken heart. I've tried to come clean, but I guess it's no use. Faces all over 6 o'clock news. They cleared the streets and then they closed the schools. I can't even get inside. I've tried to come clean, but I guess it's no use. Can't put ahead, he just shot you through. Now you're lying dead on the avenue. I can feel my broken heart, yeah. My broken
Thanks so much.
Kathleen Edwards, she's staying busy. We've got the covers record. We've got Billionaire coming out later this year. She's here in town tonight, City Winery, and hopefully somewhere in the next year you'll be back again.
I love this town. I only want to play Pittsburgh.
We're fine with that. Thank you.
Thank you.